Alright, family and friends, this is Rob representing Essayons Family Garden, and we are going to start harvesting our sweet potatoes, and we're getting a late start of it today. We had a bunch of stuff going on other than the bug flying in my eye. So hopefully you guys can see me with what little light we have left out here. We're going to harvest our sweet potatoes in batches this year, so today is an off day. And we're going to harvest our Japanese Satsuma sweet potatoes behind me, if you can see them. Matter of fact, let me just switch you guys around so you see what I see. Oh, just saw a mouse, but yeah, we'll get you later, buddy. If you can see him back there. Yeah, he's gone. So we're going to harvest our Japanese Satsuma, which were gifted to us by a friend. Today, we're going to get them laid out in a cart and placed in our garage, and we're going to start hardening those off or curing those. And we're going to do it different. Before, we were just dumping our buckets on a tarp on the ground. But this year we're going to be a little bit smarter, and we're going to dump the buckets into our lawn cart so that once this is full, I can just go to one of the places we've got a hugelkultur mound, and I can just dump or shovel everything right out onto the mound. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna cut our sweet potato slips off, and we can see one sweet potato sticking up already out of the ground, so we're gonna get started. So we cut our sweet potato slips off for the most part, so we can just pull these up. And we still don't have chickens on our homestead yet. Normally we would put these in with the chickens, but now they're just gonna go on our compost pile. But for now, because we know, hand these off to SK1. Yep, they are sticky. We're just gonna stick them in this bucket here, and then once we get everything harvested, I'll put that over on our compost pile, and hopefully we don't have sweet potatoes growing in there next year. But now we got a bucket. We're gonna lift up SK1 and I into our garden cart, and hopefully it'll make harvesting easy. So some are nice and easy to get out, and we're just gonna gently put them in our cart. So some are, yeah, definitely small, but we're gonna see. So I'm gonna use our broad fork to try to break this up without damaging the sweet potatoes themselves. If you gently go in, you can kind of break stuff up enough to work with your hands, which is all we're going to do. And we have 3 containers of the Satsuma, so we're going to try to get them all today. And I can already see that these are definitely on the slim side, so hopefully we have some bigger ones in here that are better for roasting. But we're going to use everything that we have. Yeah, there are a lot, but we don't have the, shoot, broke one, but we'll still cure it all. So we don't have the big giant alien sweet potatoes like we had last year, but we got plenty, so we're gonna finish breaking this up so we can get the next 2 containers. So not all of them are teeny tiny, and this is from 3 slips that we put in there, so we're still gonna get a very generous harvest of sweet potatoes. They may not all be giants, they may be different sizes, but they'll all go towards feeding our family. So we got our first container emptied, and I haven't weighed it, but I'm gonna guess that we have probably maybe 4 pounds. Yep, I can get a better shot. So I'm guessing we have maybe 4 pounds, maybe 5 pounds. So we're guessing we're gonna get about the same from the last two. We'll do a quick shot once we finish harvesting our Satsuma potatoes, and then we're going to go on. We got some other stuff we need to do. We got to maybe get out the rest of our garlic today, if not today, tomorrow, and we're going to go ahead and pull our peppers out and start getting those beds ready. We're going to put a few things in behind them, but mostly we're just going to put them to rest for the winter. So we're going to go ahead and finish up. So sweet potatoes definitely want to grow. We just moved our second container, and we drilled 3/8 inch holes in the bottom, and if you can see down there, even underneath the container, we got sweet potatoes that started growing in the ground. So they definitely want to live and grow. So we're going to harvest those too, along with the container right here, right there. So I have to say, day one was not overwhelming with the sweet potato harvest. From 3 containers, we got, I'm going to say, maybe around 10 pounds of sweet potatoes, if you can see it. First container we got the most. Second 2 containers we got diminishing harvest, even though we got one whopper in the third one, and then a lot of small ones. So we're going to call it quits for day one of the sweet potatoes. We're going to get on to some other things that we need to do in the garden, and then we'll be back for you in a minute with day 2 of the sweet potato harvest, and then we'll give you guys an estimation of how much weight we got in sweet potatoes from maybe 10-15 slips. This was a total of 9 slips, and we got quite a few small ones, but not as many whoppers as I was hoping to get. So we'll be right back. So I know this is supposed to be a sweet potato video, but one thing I want to show, and I mentioned about hardneck versus softneck. The Moroccan Creole is a hardneck, and you can see in the middle of it there's a hard stem coming up from the base, and that's why it's called hardneck garlic. And this should do well in warmer climates. But this Moroccan Creole, you can see it's just a beautiful red color. So we saved some we're going to cook with, some we're going to plant, but yeah, that's just amazing to me. Just a beautiful color. So now out to the sweet potatoes. Alright, so we got an earlier start on our day 2 of sweet potatoes. And today we're going to do this batch, which is a combination of Murasaki and Okinawan sweet potatoes. So we're going to get these out, and I think we have 5 or 6 containers, and we're hoping we have a little bit better harvest than we did with the Japanese Satsuma. So we're going to pull them out, same thing as yesterday. So we're on our first bucket, and we've already gotten off to a good start. We've gotten about as much out already as we got from our third bucket yesterday, but we dumped this one in and found a colony of ants, which we've had problems with ants in our garden before. So we're just going to be careful as we harvest the rest of these so that we don't grab a handful of ants. And we'll have to figure out some organic ways to control the ant population in our garden. I'm sure there's probably some nematodes or something that we can add in around our garden beds and soils to either get rid of the ants or cause them to want to go someplace else. But we're going to be careful and get the rest of these out. So day 2 of the grand sweet potato harvest was not what we expected. We got probably about 7 pounds of sweet potatoes from 4 containers, and we actually only got 7 pounds from 2 containers, because just like last year we had 2 containers full of roots, lots of above ground vegetation, but no tubers. So that puts us up to, I think we had 14 pounds yesterday, 7 today, so 21 pounds of sweet potatoes. But overall, I'm a bit disappointed with the containers. Unless we get a big glut of sweet potatoes back there, enough to put us over 50 pounds, we're probably going to go back to putting our sweet potatoes in the raised beds instead of buckets or containers, and we'll see. So I'll be back in a bit on the last day of our sweet potato harvest. We did get the rest of our garlic, and well, we got almost the rest of our garlic. We got all the rest of our purchased garlic in the ground, and what we have set aside from our saved garlic from the 2020 harvest, we'll probably get that out on Veterans Day also. We got some more trees transplanted. We harvested some Jerusalem artichokes. With some, we are overwintering in other buckets, which I'll talk about in maybe a different video. And this we're going to take inside. I'm going to slice it up, store it, and we'll use it in the next few days for different meals or whatnot, or maybe in some salads. So we'll be back for you guys in just a bit. So we went a little bit past Labor Day for our last 3 containers of sweet potatoes. Just different things came up, and Mrs. SG suggested that we leave them in a little longer to see if we got any more size, a couple more weeks. So we're going to get these out, and we're going to see if we can add to our 21 pound total. Yeah, we cleared most of the vines off. We cut those off, and we're going to do a little bit of digging with our digging fork, and then once we've got a little bit of the top off, we'll dump the buckets over in our John Deere cart and see what we come up with. Fingers crossed. All right, family and friends, I want to tell you we got a record harvest of sweet potatoes this year, but Mama Sapper told me never to lie. So we got a 21, well, we have a little more than 21 pounds in the garage. We have 21 pounds from our first harvest a couple of weeks ago. Mrs. SG planted some on one wall of the garden that she harvested. I'll put in some stills of that. She harvested that and some ube, but we didn't weigh that yet. I need to weigh that, and then I'll put that in the total. But down in this bucket, and this came from 3 buckets, we've got what I'm going to estimate to be 10, maybe 12 pounds of sweet potatoes, and a lot of them are real small, skinny ones, but it is what it is. So I'm gonna get this weighed up, and then I'll weigh up the other sweet potatoes and the ube. And I think she harvested taro root and a few other things, but I'm just gonna put the weight for the total weight for the sweet potatoes. It would have been nice to have gotten, you know, maybe 50 pounds this year, but we didn't get 50 pounds, and we're gonna eat it anyway. So This is going to be the end of our sweet potato harvest. I may put a couple of stills of some other things Mrs. SG harvested yesterday, but we're going to take a break and get inside, rest for a minute, and then we're going to get to working on other things in the garden. So, as always, this is Rob, the Sapper gardener, representing Essayons Family Garden along with SK1, saying God bless our great country America, you wherever you reside around the world, your garden, your harvest, your kitchen, your meals, but especially your family, to have health, success, and prosperity and good times in the garden. Take care. Sapper out and
SK1 out.
take care, everyone.